Well, what do we have here? Hello good people, Jason here with Green Country Agroforestry. I am out here early in the morning, hopefully ahead of most of our insects, and in the hopes of getting some good footage in before it just becomes too loud and noisy out here. I do some overdubbing at times because I'm sure you can tell they're singing already. And they will get loud enough that you just really can't do much whenever the sun gets all the way up. But what I'm looking at is this on the ground. What this is here is a pear, and this pear has been chewed upon. And that's right, we've got squirrels grabbing the fruit off the trees and eating on them, but something is different now. Oh, there's a little isopod finishing off the work. But something is different now because these pears are starting to come ripe. We're going to go ahead and let the squirrel finish that one off and have a look. Here's a smaller one with a nice red blush, but the flesh is beginning to turn from that darker green to a yellowish color. You can see here's one that's not quite as far along. The flesh is a little bit firmer. If I run my thumb across it, my thumbnail across it, I can feel the texture. Not quite ripe here. This one, the flesh is much softer. I can indent my thumb in. You can see a little indentation there where I just put my little thumbnail in. And of course the lightening of the skin, all indications of ripeness. So we're going to do one last thing, and that is just to pick it up and the stem separated. You see, it's separated there from the branch. That's all indications of a good, ripe Bartlett pear. And so there is a Bartlett pear, good and ripe. We got to keep this one. The squirrels don't get all of them. Ha ha! Of course, some of these pears are a little bit battered. For example, this one up here has been up there in the tree and it's taken some damage from getting bounced against other pears. And whenever that happens, see, it comes right off whenever you lift. Whenever that happens, the bruised spots have a tendency to ripen up faster than everything else. But that's okay, because we aren't going to use this one for fresh eating. We're going to use this one for juicing. Yeah, that's right. We're going to get juice out of this. We're going to juice our pears. That's going to be our sugar source. Here's one damaged. Oh, wait, we're going to go ahead and just take it. See, this one's already damaged. Matter of fact, this one's a little bit too far along. I think we'll let the squirrels finish that one off. This one, though, see these spots right there? You can see a spot on the underside of that pear. That's a damaged spot, and everything around it has already started to turn. It's in the process of rotting. Whenever, ooh, there you go. Thumb indentation, very, very soft skin. This one is ready. If I lift it, it should separate from the tree just by being lifted. Boy, should. There we go. But whenever you have that easy break, that's another good indication that you got a pretty ripe pear. So this one's all the way ripe. It's got a little bad spot. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. We're going to turn this into pear juice, by golly. And then we'll similarly, like I said, this one almost. You can give your pears a little squeeze and feel the degree of ripeness sometimes. See, this one here has got a little spot. I think the bugs are starting to work on this one. Let's go ahead and see if it will come off. Yep, it sure does. There we go. So the last few episodes, I've been rambling a bit about how to gain wisdom from your experiences, how to consume them like food instead of having them consume you. There you go. This one is hard to make out because it's really early, but it's starting to get pale, and I saw that little scar up there. And that lightening of the skin is a pretty good indication, but if you have any doubt at all, lightening of the skin is a good indication, but if you had any doubt at all, you take your thumbnail and just give it a little, and it dents, well, that's a ripe pear. So I figured today is a good day to talk about justice, because it's easy whenever you've got a large number of your pears. Oh, look at that one over there. That one, can you see it from here? That yellowness, the lightening of the skin. Yeah, that one's coming ripe. Anyway, if one is self-focused, sorry, let me do this. All right, so if a person is self-focused, not seeing the big picture, is this one? What do you think? Oh yeah, this one's good. Oh my goodness, these are beautiful. No herbicide, no pesticide, no fertilizer. Beautiful, beautiful Bartlett pears fresh off the tree. Whenever a person's self-focused, events are happening to them, and they aren't seeing things with the eyes of truth to really see the beauty in all situations, then they immediately go into heart thinking and responding to this event that's happening to them and their perspective, and act upon it. You'll see this in road rage situations constantly out there on the highway. You'll see it really all the time, and you'll catch yourself doing it. It happens. Don't beat yourself up too much. You're becoming aware of it, and that's good. And once you become aware of it, you can start addressing it. The change in perspective. Changing our perspective allowed us to bypass immediately going to looking for justice for an event occurring, like insects or pests doing damage to my pears. I realized that in all actuality, I'm only going to eat 2 or 3 of these pears myself, and the rest of them I might harvest and use for other purposes. But for the most part, pears really aren't my favorite thing to eat. If I was going to be upset about anything, I think I'd be upset about the peaches. They ate all of those. Ooh, look at these guys. But when a person takes the time, uses their patience, bypasses the immediate knee-jerk reaction, desiring justice, vengeance for perceived wrongs and ills, then one is employing temperance. Oh, I don't have to cut these, I can just pull them out. There we go. Now, temperance is the virtue that allows a person to balance might with mercy and derive what is real justice. Not vengeance, but what is just, what is equitable, what is appropriate in response and attitude towards whatever information is being presented, whatever events are transpiring. You know? Now, these tubes right here have a purpose. We're going to save these. These are the flower stalks from our daylilies. And if we take them and cut them open, we'll see that they are all hollow on the inside. Now, if we were to let these stand, then they would weather, the tops would break off, and those hollows become places for solitary bees to crawl into and lay eggs. Well, we have tubes of all different sizes here. We can cut them into short lengths and put them into a box and create bee habitat. So that's one of the things that we're going to do with that. That seems to be a better thing than just allowing them to sit here and turn brown and let other people think of them as ugly. So I'll take a step back and you can have a look at the setup here. Monarda punctata, Ricinus communis, castor bean, Helianthus tuberosa, Jerusalem artichoke. These stalks belong to this little Hemerocallis fulva right down here. That's a daylily. And they are drying, but they're not all quite dry. I'm just going to go ahead and tip those back a little bit. I think I'm going to pull that much. Get just all of these. Oh, that's pretty. Alright. Now remember, these are going to be processed and turned into a little bee house. Put a couple more. And how does that look? You know, no job gets done all by itself. That is to say, if you want something to happen, you can't just wish for it to happen. You are going to have to get up and exert some effort in order for anything to be accomplished. Even if the only effort you're exerting is going out and speaking your mind so that people can hear what it is that you're thinking and what your wishes are. By not exerting effort, with no effort, there is no change. Now, I believe a lot of people are afraid of wasting it. I don't want to go out and expend effort on doing a thing unless I know that I'm going to have a satisfactory result at the end of it all. Well, that's risk. Sometimes we put our effort into things that just don't pan out. Facing risk, well, that takes courage. And where is courage going to come from? Well, for a lot of people, courage comes from anger. I'll look and see something happening, like an insect coming in and destroying my crops. A caterpillar gobbling up all of my fennel, for example. That would be something, right? Horrible caterpillar eating up all my fennel. I wanted that fennel. I wanted it for seasoning my my tasty sausages, or for making licorice candy. Even though my wife hates licorice candy, she just despises it. Doesn't like it. But hey, it's one of my favorite things. Anger is used as a source, anger used as a source for courage does give one courage to act in a very quick and immediate fashion. But the courage one gets from anger burns out quickly, just like striking sparks against a fuel. It burns up the fuel rapidly, and when that fuel is gone, well, where is your strength to act? This is really what courage is. It's strength, emotional strength. The thing that allows one to face a challenge, rise to it, and overcome it. On the tree of life, we call this kefura. might. But might alone is unbalanced. Raw power, raw strength, raw exertions of force can certainly accomplish things. But look at the life that's destroyed in the process. If your objective is the preservation of life, long-term endurance in the land, and to generate wisdom, then might has to be tempered with mercy. And that balancing of might with mercy is where one derives real justice, real equity. Now, it doesn't do to be overly merciful. I could just allow habitat for these grasshoppers to keep on growing, but if I did, their numbers would swell. They'd become unmanageable. The imbalance would be destructive to the whole of the garden that I'm attempting to grow. And so the temperate approach is to try to recognize the needs of all the creatures that are interacting in this ecosystem. To give time for them to finish up their business of the year before clearing everything away. And to remember to look closely, or else one might miss the miracle of life happening right before your eyes. Well, I'll tell you what, that looks like enough pears to go with the elderberries I've got. So I guess the squirrels left me enough after all. You've been watching Green Country Agroforestry. If you found this video informative or entertaining, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment down below. As always, thank you for watching. Now get out there and get growing.